So in the last question we were looking at painting a flat shape, and what we're often asked to do is to paint the outside or package the outside of a solid shape. So we want to know the area of each of the faces, and that's what surface area is asking us to do. It's asking us to find the area of each of the faces of a shape and add them together. There's a couple of techniques that will really help us to do this. The first thing I would do when faced with a question like this to find the surface area of either of these shapes is to just draw in dotted lines those edges that I can't see. So here I'm going to have an edge there which is at the back of the shape, which I'm just going to draw in just to make it clearer to us what that shape looks like, because it's quite difficult sometimes to picture what a shape really looks like. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite all of my measurements on each length. So this cuboid is 6 meters tall. That means it's 6 meters tall whichever side I look at it from. So here, this is going to be 6 meters, this is going to be 6 meters, this back here is going to be 6 meters. It's 4 meters deep, so that's going to be 4 meters, that's going to be 4 meters, that's going to be 4 meters. And it's 3 meters wide. So it's going to be 3 meters wide there, 3 meters wide there, 3 meters wide there. Really helpful just to remember what all of those shapes look like. Now, the next thing I need to do is think, how many faces does this shape have? Well, it's got a front and a back, it's got a left and a right, it's got a top and a bottom. And those are all matched, so the front and back are the same. So it's got 6 faces. So let's work out the area of the front. So the front is here. It's a rectangle. It's 3 meters wide and 6 meters tall. So 3 times 6, which is 18. I know that the back is going to be exactly the same. So the back is also 18. Let's have a look at the right. Again, it's a rectangle. It's 6 meters tall. It's 4 meters wide. So the right is 4 times 6, which is 24. So the left must also be 24. Let's have a look at the top. 3 meters wide, 4 meters tall. So top is going to be 3 times 4, which is 12, and the base is also going to be 12. All I need to do is add those together, and that's going to tell me the total area that I would, for example, need to paint. So 18 plus 24 is 42, plus 12 is 54, double all of them gives me 108 meters squared. Okay, let's have a go at the next one. So I'm going to use exactly the same approach. So again, I'm going to just put in a couple of construction lines just so that I can remind myself of what that shape is going to look like. There we go. And I'm going to then copy in my lengths. So it's 4 meters tall, so that's going to be 4 meters here. This is going to be 5 meters back here. The 8 meters is going to be the same as the 8 meters there and 8 meters there. Now, let's think, how many faces have I got? I've got this slanting face, which we'll call the right hand side. I've got the left hand side, I've got the bottom, and I've got the front and the back. The only matching faces now are the front and the back, which are both my triangles. Okay, so let's have a look at the front first. The length is 3, the height is 4, it's a triangle, so I'm going to do 3 times 4 divided by 2. 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. The back is also going to be 6. The right hand side. Well, what kind of shape do I have on the right hand side? Well, it's a rectangle. It's 8 meters wide, 5 meters tall. So 8 times 5, which is 40. The left is also a rectangle. Here, 8 meters wide, 4 meters tall. 8 times 4 is 32. The only one I'm left with is my base. Here, it's 3 meters wide, 8 meters tall. Notice that this triangular prism only has 5 faces. I've got all 5 there. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 40 is 52, plus 32 is 84, plus 24 gives me 108 meters squared. So coincidentally, these two have exactly the same surface area. Okay, pause the video now while you write down those worked examples. Once you're done, unpause the video and have a go at the questions beneath. Okay, 5 questions for you to try. The first 4 are fairly standard. The 5th one is a more difficult question. Just be really careful there as to exactly how many faces you've got. You're going to have the base and the left, the front and the back, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more faces there. So just be really careful with that as you work through it. And remember, you've got a composite shape as your front, so you're going to need to divide that up into 2 rectangles. Right, have a go at those questions. Draw down the shapes if you can, but don't worry too much if you can't. And when you're ready to go through the solutions, press unpause. Okay, so here are your solutions. For the first one, you should have got 180 meters squared, 132 centimeters squared. Remember here you've got your front and your back are the same, which is 6 centimeters squared. Then you've got 5 times 10, which is 50. Your right is going to be 3 times 10, which is 30, and your base is 4 times 10, which is 40, gives you a total of 132 centimeters squared. Here, exactly the same method gives you an answer of 180 centimeters squared. Slightly more difficult here. Your front, the first thing you had to do was to find your missing lengths, which should be 7 and 6, because 3 plus 7 is 10, and 6 plus 2 is 8. That tells you when you divide up this shape, you've got 6 times 7, which is 42, and 3 times 8, which is 24, which together gives you 66 as the area of your front, which is the same as the area of your back, which is 66. Your left side down here is going to be 10 times 4, which is 40. Your base is going to be 8 times 4, which is 32. I've then labelled the remaining sides as 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 is 3 times 4, which is 12. 2 is 2 times 4, which is 8. 3 is 7 times 4, which is 28. And 4 is 6 times 4, which is 24. Add them all together and you should have got a total of 276 centimeters squared. If you managed to do that, I'm so impressed. Well done. Give yourself a mark out of 5. Any more revision you want on that, please take a look at Hegarty clip number 585. Very well done.